Well, thanks for being here. Today, a foundational practice. So focus, foundation, and balance. So foundation, just really feeling the feet connected to the ground, the strength that starts in your belly and extends up and down to help keep you balanced. Foundational poses in yoga, we're going to do some warriors. We're going to do some crescents. We're going to do lots of balancing. So feeling that connection of the soles of the feet to the ground. So if you do need anything to assist you, if you want to be close to a wall, if you want to bring a chair close to you, I encourage you to do that and modify and intensify as you feel fits. Okay. All right. So we're just going to get warmed up. A seated position that feels good. And bring those hands down by your sides. Pressing your palms. Spread your fingers wide and press those palms down towards the ground. Now, if you have longer arms than your torso, this might be really easy for you. And you might need to move those arms out and away from you just a little bit. If that torso and the arms are fairly similar, you might be able to just touch the palms. You might not even be able to feel the palms against the floor, so press the pads of the fingers, but keep those fingers wide. So however you can best connect to the ground, do so. Close your eyes and then lift the crown of the head towards the ceiling. And just feel that length in the spine. And now we bring our awareness and our focus to our breath. So we keep that connection of the sole of the palms to the ground and the sit bones to the ground. Well, we feel the length in the spine and the length and depth of each breath we take. A strong foundation influences every aspect of our being. When we have a strong foundation, self-confidence is a little better. Self-awareness is a little better. Mind and body awareness is even better. Solid, healthy, and strong begins with that good, solid foundation. And as we work to find that foundation, we're going to press the soles of the feet into the ground, the palms of the hands into the ground. We're going to keep that posture nice and tall, and we're going to stay engaged through the core. So in essence, we have an hour-long core class. Breathe. As you exhale, release your chin down towards your chest. Inhale, head up nice and tall, and as you exhale, lean your head to the right. And inhale it up nice and tall, and then exhale, lean your head to the left. Keeping those palms pressing down, inhale it back nice and tall. Once again, chin to chest. Inhale, head up nice and tall. Exhale and lean that head to the right. Keep those palms pressing down. Inhale it up tall, and exhale, lean your head to the left. Inhale it up nice and tall. Now turn and look over that right shoulder, far as you can turn your head without turning the shoulders. Inhale back through center, and then exhale, turn and look out over your left shoulder, far as you can turn your head. Inhale it back to center one more time to the right, and then one more to the left. Inhale it back to center, and then turn and look out over that left. Bring your head face back to center. Bring your hands to the shins, just below your knees. Take a big breath in. Press your chest forward, arch your back, lift your gaze. And exhale, hollow your tummy and chest. Press your spine towards the back, tuck your chin. Inhale, press it through, arch your back, lift your gaze. And exhale, hollow. One more each direction. Press it through, arch your back, lift your gaze. And exhale, hollow. And inhale it up nice and tall. Let's switch. Other leg is in front. Bring your hands down by your sides and a gentle tuck of your chin down towards your chest. Roll the head to the right, right ear over the right shoulder. Gently, slowly roll your chin back towards your chest and then over to the left ear over the left shoulder. And back through center, chin to chest, once again to the right. Face is turned towards front. And one more time, we take it to the left. And inhale it back to chin to chest. Inhale, head up nice and tall, reach it high, interlace your fingers, turn your palms to the sky, and as you exhale, lower your arms down to shoulder height. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, press your palms forward, press your spine back, tuck your chin, feel space between those shoulder blades, stretching that upper back. Inhale it up nice and tall, and we're going to roll to the right. Just a big roll. Isolating through the rib cage, allowing those arms to take it up and over and around. Let's do that just a couple more times. Whatever feels good to you. And then we're going to switch directions and roll it to the other side. As many as feel good to you. Just that little pause before you switch. And then isolating that rib cage. It's great for that upper middle back. Just promoting that independent movement of the ribs, of the vertebra, coming back up nice and tall, palms to the sky. And exhale, lower those arms once again to shoulder height. Press your palms forward, spine back, tuck your chin. Inhale, pull it in, hands to heart center. Lift the arms, palms stay gently touching. Soften those shoulders. I want you to feel the length in your arms, but no tension in the shoulders and the neck. So just let those shoulders be heavy. Now I want you to feel the strength in your arms as you slowly lower those arms down about 45 degrees. So fingertips are kind of just pointing out in a diagonal line. Breathe, feeling that connection of the sit bones, the connections with your core, the work in the shoulders. Now slowly lower those arms down just above shoulder height, kind of right in line with your vision. Breathe. Now slowly lower those hands down to shoulder height. Separate your hands, turn your palms towards the ground, and as you exhale, pull those elbows straight back. Squeeze through your shoulder blades, open your chest. Reach it out, cross that left arm over the right, and then pull it back. And now we're going to cross that right arm over the left. Cross it as big as you want to, and pull it back. Left arm over the right, cross it and pull it back. One more time, right arm on top and pull it back. Lift it high, straight up overhead and gently turn to the right. Left hand to the top of the thigh, right hand behind you. Sit up as tall as you can. Turn and look out over your back shoulder. Press your left shoulder down and away. Little tuck of your chin down towards your collarbone and just breathe. Inhale, reach it high, turn it back to face front. And as you exhale, we turn to the left. Left hand behind us, right hand to the top of the thigh. Turn and take your gaze out over your back shoulder. Little tuck of your chin down towards your collarbone. Inhale, reach it high, turn it back to face front. Release that right hand down, left arm up and over, and we're just going to sway side to side. Let's go 3 each direction, and just keep those sit bones connected to the ground. Just feel that long stretch through the side body, the reaching up without tension in your shoulders. So just taking care of your shoulders, taking care of your body, listening to what's going on. Move it in ways that feel good. If it causes pain, we're not going to do it. One more time each way, just because that feels really good. Stretching through the waist. And lift it high. As you exhale, pull those elbows back and down. Cactus arms. Hold that cactus arm. Squeeze through those shoulder blades. And then gently straighten those arms and just let them float towards the ground. We turn. Let's come up onto all fours. To tabletop. Hands are shoulder width apart. Knees are hip width. Core's nice and strong. We're going to extend that right leg straight back. Tuck your toes and just gently press back, drawing your heel towards the back of your mat. Feel a good stretch in your calf and your foot. Now shift your weight forward so you can lift that right leg, flex your foot, pelvis is square, core is strong, and we're lifting out of those shoulders. Cross that right leg up and over the left. Toes are still tucked under. We're on the ball of the foot, and we're going to turn and look out over that left shoulder. Should feel a good long stretch all the way down that right side. Core is strong. Breathe. We bring our gaze back to center, lifting that right leg back to center and draw it in. Slide your left toes back. Tuck those toes underneath, a little push back, drawing your heel towards the ground. So as we work foundation, we're going to work some core as well. So we'll get a really nice abdominal boost every now and again, besides just what we're working on when we do our balance and those foundational poses. Shift your weight forward once again, shoulders over the fingertips. Lift that left leg, square your pelvis, and breathe. We cross that left leg up and over the right, still toes nestled against the ground, and turn and look out over your right shoulder. Breathe. We come back to center, lifting that left leg back to center and gently draw it in. Sit your sit bones back towards your heels. Walk your hands towards the top of the mat. Let's take a moment in child's pose. If you'd like to separate your knees a little bit, that is perfectly fine. If you'd rather have your hands back by your feet or stack your hands for the forehead to rest against, that is absolutely fine. As you're ready, arms extended out nice and long, hands shoulder width apart, spread your fingers wide. We're going to inhale up to a modified high plank. Breathe. Now you can hold your plank here. You can be on your forearms. You can remain up on your hands. Core is strong, glutes are engaged. We're going to tuck the toes and extend those legs. If you don't want to extend the legs, don't. Bring the knees back down, untuck the toes. Tuck the toes and extend. We want to make sure that those hips aren't sagging down. Knees touch, untuck the toes. Tuck the toes, extend the legs. We have 3 more. Knees, untuck the toes. Tuck the toes, core strong, lift. 2 more. Knees, untuck, retuck, and lift. 1 more. Knees, untuck the toes, tuck the toes, and lift. Lift your hips to down dog. Breathe. Face soft, head heavy. Knees can be bent if they need to be, so listen to the intensity of what's going on down the backs of the legs. And we want to pay attention to what's going on through the wrists. So if we're heavy into those wrists and you feel you're loaded in those shoulders and on the wrists, I encourage you to bend your knees, lift your sit bones high, and see if you can get the bend out of your wrists. Knees can stay bent, or as you get warmer and warmer, maybe the legs start to extend. Let's inhale it to high plank. And exhale it back to down dog. Again, we inhale it to high plank. And exhale it to down dog. In your down dog, widen your stance just a little bit. The wider you go, the easier it will make it. It's not going to be easy, but that's a great way to take down some of the intensity. We're going to inhale it to our high plank, and we're going to alternate tapping one hand to the opposite shoulder and lift your hips. So foundation, core strength, inhaling it to high plank, tap, lower, tap, lower. Lift your hips. You have 2 more of those. You can just opt to hold your plank. That is absolutely fine too. You can also bring your knees down. Tap, release, tap, release, and lift. 1 more time. Inhaling it to high plank. Tap, release, tap, release, and lift. Taking the gaze between your hands, walk your feet in wide. So we're going to keep that wide stance. We're going to turn our toes out to about a 45-degree angle. Hands are supported underneath us. Shift your weight to your heels. Core strong. We're going to bend the knees. We're going to come down as low as feels good to you. And then extend those legs. Let your head be heavy. Inhale, weights in the heels should be able to lift your toes. And exhale, extend. 2 more times. We bend, warming up through the hips, warming up those quadriceps, and extend. Let's do that once more. This time, take it low, hold it low. You can be frog with your bottom about knee height. You can come into yogi squat or garland, lifting the chest and bringing the hands to heart center. And just a little rock side to side. Just feeling the soles of the feet against the earth. And breathe. Coming back to center, release your hands, extend those legs. And ever so slowly ragdoll your way up. Let those arms be heavy. A big shoulder roll. And let those shoulders slide down and away. Do that again, big shoulder roll. And shoulders slide down and away. Bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Roll those shoulders. Reach your knuckles towards the ground. Core strong. Take a big breath in. Glutes are engaged. Arch it back. Lift your gaze up as you reach those knuckles low. Open your heart. Feel the soles of your feet against the mat. Toes strong against the mat. Solid and stable. Inhale it up nice and tall. Shift your hands to heart center. Intentionally heel toe those feet in to hip width apart. Feet are parallel. Hands at heart center, we find a focal point out in front of us, and we're going to shift our weight to our left foot. Right knee lifts to 90 degrees. If you don't want to lift it to 90 degrees and you just want to keep your big toe barely touching, perfect. If we lift it to 90, flex that foot. This is about finding success and feeling solid. So if that means using assistance with a wall, a chair, whatever it might be, use it. As you exhale, extend those arms, reach it out, kick that right foot heel back. About a 45-degree angle, glutes engaged, and then we pull it back in. Again, big toe can be touching, or we can come back to that 90 degrees. We extend it out, we reach it. We pull it in, we stand tall. We have 2 more of those. Press it out. Can you feel the core engaged? Pressing through that right heel, back leg is long. We pull it back into 90. One more time, extend it out. This time we're going to hold it out. We're going to bend that left knee and take a giant step back to a warrior 1. Back foot's on the mat. Back foot's at about a 45-degree angle. And we sink into our warrior 1, a very foundational pose in yoga. Our hips are facing front, pelvis is square, facing front, as though you have headlights on either side of your pelvis and they're facing straight ahead. Inhale, straighten that front leg a little. And exhale, sink. Breathe. Inhale, lengthen, hinge it forward. Back heel stays down. Turn your palms to the ground. And as you exhale, pull those elbows back and down. Squeeze through that upper back. Inhale, reach it out. Lengthen space between the shoulder blades. And then pull those shoulder blades towards one another as you pull it back. Inhale, reach it out. And exhale, pull it back. One more time. Reach it out. And pull it back. Stay tall. Extend those arms overhead. Shift your weight forward. Press it back up onto that left leg, that diagonal line, flex your foot. And we pull the knee back to 90 degrees. Hands to heart center. And step it down. Nice job. Roll out your ankle. Stretch your toes. Get rid of the wiggles. And we pull those hands to heart center. Find a focal point. Breathe. Shift your weight to your right foot. We lift that left knee. Big toe can barely touch along the inside of your foot, or lift that knee. So whichever feels better to you. If you've chosen to lift your knee, flex your foot. Breathe. Pelvis is level. Pelvis is square. Those headlights are pointing straight ahead. We're solid through that right foot. We're going to reach out with those arms, and we're going to press back with that left leg. Flex your foot. Feel that left glute and hamstring engage. And pull it back in. Extend it out. Press through the heel. Just creating that long diagonal line. And pull it in. Press it out. And pull it in. This time we're going to press it out. We're going to hold it out. We bend that right knee. take a giant step back foot to about a 45-degree angle, and we find our warrior one. Taking your time to find that warrior one. Pelvis is facing front. We breathe. Inhale, straighten that front leg a little, square the pelvis, keep it square, and sink. Core strong, we lengthen. We hinge it forward. We turn our palms to the ground. As you exhale, pull those elbows back. Shoulder blades squeeze. We lift our gaze. Inhale, reach it out. Long diagonal line. And exhale, pull it back. Again, reach it out. And pull it back. Once more, reach it out. Pull it back, keep it back. Keep that chest tall. Lift your arms overhead. Core strong. We shift our weight forward. Back up onto the ball of the back foot. And we rise, coming back to that diagonal line. Add a flex of that left foot. And pull the hands to heart center. Lift that left knee. And gently set your foot down. Roll out your ankle. Stretch your toes. Get rid of the wiggles with the arms. Take a second. Roll those shoulders up and back. Palms open to the front. Let's do 2 just flows. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, swan dive to forward fold. Inhale up to monkey half lift. Exhale down, walk, step, or hop to high plank. Toes or knees, crocodile. Press it through, up dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips to down dog. Hold your down dog. Or inhale it to high plank. Toes or knees, crocodile. Press it through, up dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips to down dog. Taking the gaze between your hands and walk your feet in to forward fold. Inhale up to monkey half lift. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. And pull those hands to heart center. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, reach it high. If you need a drink, grab one. Swan dive to forward fold. Inhale up to monkey half lift. Exhale down, walk, step, or hop to high plank. Toes or knees, crocodile. Press it through, up dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips to down dog. Hold your down dog or inhale it to high plank. Toes or knees, crocodile. Press it through, up dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips to down dog. Taking the gaze between your hands and walk your feet in to forward fold. Inhale up to monkey half lift. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. And pull those hands to heart center. We find a focal point out in front of us and shift our weight to our left foot. We cross that right foot in front of the left. Big toe just barely touches to the outside of your foot. If it feels right to you, lift that right ankle just above the knee, creating a figure 4. Core stays strong. If you like, begin to sit it back. Breathe. Chest is lifted. You can sit as deeply as you like. Inhale, half lift, come up just a little bit, and sink. Again, inhale, straighten, and exhale, sink as the core is still engaged. Feeling that strength in that supporting leg. One more time, we lift, and gently sink. Inhale, we rise, lifting that right knee to 90 degrees. We take a giant step back to our crescent lunge. Big, 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 big step back, controlling. We lift the chest. Find your breath. Inhale, extend those arms, lengthen the legs, circle the arms to the back, and sink back into that lunge. Lift those arms up and overhead as you straighten that left leg. Big circle as the hands pass by your hips, bend the knee. One more time, big circle of those arms, and gently sink. Arms come up and overhead. We pull the hands to heart center, find a focal point out in front of you, shift your weight forward, lift up onto that left leg, and we hinge into warrior 3. Flex your foot. Hands can remain at heart center or extend those arms out to a T. Breathe. And slowly we stand tall. Lift those arms up and overhead. Feet are side by side. Pull those hands to heart center. We shift our weight to our right foot, immediately going into the other side, crossing left ankle in front of that right leg. Big toe just barely touches. If you like, lift that left ankle just above the knee. And we begin to sit, only if it feels right to you. We're strengthening that supporting leg. We're stretching that left hip. We're being kind, but we're challenging ourselves. Inhale, straighten just a little bit. And exhale, sink. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, sink. We have one more. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, sink. Now rise. Breathe. Lifting that left knee to 90 degrees. Core strong. Press it straight back. Giant step back to your crescent lunge. Extend those arms up and overhead. Sink into that crescent lunge. Arms come forward, straighten that front leg as your hands pass by your hips. Circle the arms back and around and up and overhead. Again, straighten that front leg. Arms circle forward, back and around as we sink back into that lunge. Let's do that one more time. Circle it forward. Circle it back and up and overhead. Pull the hands to heart center. Find a focal point out in front of you. Shift your weight forward. Core strong. Press up onto that right leg. Square your pelvis. Add a flex of that left foot and hinges deeply into warrior three as you wish. Hands can remain at heart center. Pelvis is square. You can open those arms out to a T. Breathe. Foundations. Yes, strength, balance, focus. Slowly we draw that left leg in to stand tall. Feet are parallel, hands pull to heart center. Nice job, you guys. Inhale, reach it high. Exhale, swan dive to forward fold. Inhale up to monkey half lift. Exhale, wrap your arms around the backs of the legs. Hold on to those legs and gently pull upper body towards the legs. A little tuck of your chin towards your chest. And just breathe. Releasing those arms, bend your knees as much as you need to get the hands to the mat. We're going to heel toe those feet open once or twice. Toes are slightly turned open. Hands are shoulder width apart and spread your fingers wide. We're going to slightly bend the elbows as we bend the knees, placing the insides of the knees just along the backs of the elbows. If you need to adjust where your feet are, adjust. A slight bend in the elbow. We shift our weight forward, gazing forward towards the ground, and we're going to slowly, and I mean slowly, transition your weight forward to the point where maybe you can just float those feet off of the mat to crow pose. Gently release the toes, shift your weight back, heels come down, we lift the chest, back to our yogi squat. And breathe. Roll the wrists. We're going to do that one more time. And if you're like, nope, I'm good, it's okay. Take a second. You can extend those legs and come back to that wide-legged forward fold. Or if you like, bring those hands back to the mat. We lift the bum, shift our weight forward, and we place the knees right along the back sides of the triceps, just above the knees or into the armpits, and slowly transfer to the point where maybe you can lift those feet, floating them off the floor. We don't want to jump into it, just a gentle float. Gently release. Once again, we come back to that yogi squat. Pull the hands to heart center, roll the wrists. Good job. Release your hands down and extend those legs to that wide-legged forward fold. Let's reach your hands through the legs and walk it back. That feels good. Stretching down the backs of the legs, that upper middle back. Little tuck of the chin, little shift of your weight forward into your toes. And breathe. We pull those hands back through, relax the upper body, and ever so slowly ragdoll your way up. Arms are heavy, head's heavy. Checking in, how you doing? Do you need a drink? Roll those shoulders up and back. Shoulders slide down and away. And again, intentionally heel toe those feet in to feet parallel. If you need to step towards the top of the mat, please do. Inhale, reach it high. And exhale, swan dive to forward fold. Inhale up to monkey half lift. Exhale down, walk, step, or hop to high plank. Little core work here. You can hold your plank, hands or forearms. You can have your knees down or on your toes. We're going to transition from our plank to our side plank, extending. Doesn't matter which way you go first. Bring it back through plank and directly to the other side. So you can do the exact same thing with the knees down and just extend that top leg. Turn and turn. You can do the same thing on the forearms. We rotate and reach. So any way you want to modify is doable. If you're like, I am good in child's pose, that is perfectly fine too. This is all about taking care of yourself and challenging yourself accordingly. Building strength, and sometimes that means taking a break. One more time each side. Last time through center and open to the other side. Back through center, hold center. Again, hands or forearms, toes or knees. Breathe. As you exhale, lift your hips to down dog. If that means child's pose to you, that is perfect. And we just take a second to check in. When you are ready, up to your down dog. Find your breath. Shift your weight to your right foot. Left toes reach high. As you exhale, sweep your left foot through. Back heel to the mat. Windmill your arms up to warrior two. Another wonderful foundational warrior. Strong through those legs. Pelvis is open to the side. Should feel a little bit of love going on through the pelvis. Arms are extended out, but we're not squeezing the neck. Shoulders are down and away. We lengthen through those fingertips. Breathe. We're coming towards our half moon. Inhale, straighten that front leg a little. And exhale, sink. Do that one more time. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, sink. Stay low in that lunge. Lower that left arm, lift the right. Lengthen through those fingertips. Take your gaze out in front of those left toes. Core strong. Shift your weight forward. Come up onto the ball of the back foot. As you're ready, press up onto that left leg. Add a flex of your right foot and roll it open. So we're really extending from fingertip to fingertip. Now you can stay right here. If you like, slowly release that left hand down a little bit wider than the pinky toe side of your foot and roll that right hip back. Flexing that right foot, pressing through your heel. Breathe. Gazing down towards the ground. If you wish for a little more intensity, start to take your gaze up towards the base of that right thumb. Breathe. Feel that extension out of that right shoulder, up through the tips of the fingers. Slowly bring your gaze back down. Release that right hand to the mat. A little bit wider than the big toe side of your foot. I like to come up to the pads of my fingers. Rotate and reach. Left arm high. Revolved half moon. There's a lot happening here. Be nice to your body, be kind, keep a sense of humor. Gently releasing that left hand down. Soft bend in that left knee, big push off, giant step back. We come to our warrior one. Take a second and find your warrior one. Inhale, straighten that front leg. And exhale, sink, flow forward. Hands on either side of your foot. Lift that back heel, lift your hips, sweep it back. And extend. Left leg high. And gently release it down to down dog. Let's hold our down dog and just sway our hips side to side. Great way to work our core and to just get a really nice lateral movement through the spine. Great little stretch through the ribs.
Just feels good. You can make it as little or as big as you want to make it. Coming back to center. And we shift our weight to our left foot. Right toes reach high. Exhaling and sweeping that right foot through. Back heel to the mat, windmill your arms up. Warrior two on the right. Arms extended out long. Again, we're not squinting those shoulders up. We're lengthening out of the fingertips. That right knee is right in line with our pelvis, just coming straight out of that hip joint. Inhale, straighten that front leg a little. And exhale, sink. Do that once again. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, sink. We're going to stay low in that lunge. We're going to lower the right arm and lift the left. Palms are open. We find our focal point out in front of that right big toe. Core is strong. We shift our weight forward, up onto the ball of the back foot. And then as you're ready, up onto that right leg. Add a flex of that left foot and roll it open. Breathe. Now extend from fingertip to fingertip. You can stay right here. If you like, slowly begin to lower that right hand down, a little bit wider than the pinky toe side of your foot. Roll that left hip back and extend left arm high. Feel that solid connection of that right sole of the foot to the floor. The inside and the outside edge of your heel, the inside and the outside of the ball of your foot, each and every toe. If it feels right to you, start to take your gaze up. Find the base of that left thumb. Breathe. If that makes it too intense, a little more challenging, losing that stability, take your gaze back down towards the ground. As you exhale, gently take your gaze down, lower that left arm. Left hand just a little bit wider than the big toe side of your foot. Rotate and reach. Right arm high. Extend and lengthen. Press through that back heel. Breathe. Revolve, half moon. Gently releasing that right hand down, soft bend in that right knee, big push off with your hands, giant step back as we float back to our warrior one. Breathe. Inhale, straighten that front leg a little, square the pelvis, and exhale, sink. Circle the arms to the back, release your hands on either side of your foot, lift your hips, sweep it back, and extend. Right leg high. And gently release it down to down dog. We inhale it to high plank. Hold your plank. Breathe. You can be on your knees or your toes. Hands or forearms. Again, you can do any of these things in any of those positions. If you're on your knees, that's fine. We're going to take that right leg out, tap the toes, and bring it back in. Left leg goes out, tap the toes, and bring it back in. If you're on your forearms and your knees, same thing. Tap and bring it back in. Keep that core strong. Tap and bring it back in. If you're on your hands, you're on your toes, leg stays long. Tap it, bring it in. Tap it out, bring it in one more time each. Tap and in. It's all about staying strong through the rest of the body, not moving the rest of the body too much. Pull it in and lift your hips. And breathe. So some of those things have your body working overtime. So it's normal for the heart rate to be increased, shakiness to come into play. It's a lot of work. Find your breath. Taking the gaze between your hands and walk your feet in to forward fold. Inhale up to monkey half lift. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. As you exhale, circle those arms to the back. Make your circle as big as you can. Feel that stretch across the chest. Circle the arms up and overhead. This time, take those arms forward, around behind, all the way up and overhead. Now, this time as we do this, I want you to notice what happens with your hands, which direction they're facing. As you roll open, do you feel how your palms open to the side? And then come back together, they face towards one another. Now circle the arms forward. Palms are facing one another. As you roll it back, palms start to open and reach it high. Pull the hands to heart center as we transfer our weight to our left foot. Breathe. Left arm extends to the sky. Right arm opens out to 90 degrees. Palm is facing up.
So as you notice the rotation through that ball and socket joint of your shoulder, as you lift that right foot, reach down with that right hand, open your palm. Take a hold along the inside or the arch of your foot and draw your knees towards one another. As that palm needs to open to allow that full range of that 360-degree circle. That's why we want that palm open. You can stay right here. If you need a wall, if you need a chair, use that left hand for support. We slowly press that right foot into your hand as your hand guides your foot towards the sky. You should feel a nice stretch through the front of that right shoulder. Chest can stay lifted, or you're welcome to hinge it forward. Coming deeper into your dancer's pose. Breathe. As you press that foot into your hand, what do you notice? What do you feel? Solid and strong through that left foot. Keeping that right knee from flaring open too much. Beautiful pose. Slowly we draw the knees back towards one another. And now you're going to shift your hand to the outside of your foot. So your palm is closed, shoulder joint is closed. We're going to circle that left arm around and find your foot. If you can't quite find that foot with both hands, it's okay. And you're going to draw your heel right towards the center of your glute. And breathe. A little bun squeeze, a little press of the front of your pelvis forward as you draw that right knee back, and should feel a really nice stretch all down the front of that right leg. We gently release, cross that right foot behind the left, reach to the sky. Bend that right elbow, hand behind your head, left hand to the elbow, and gently press. Let's lean it to the left. Oh, just this really nice stretch all the way down that right side. This, with those ankles crossed, is a little bit of a compromise of our balance as well. We get a nice little stretch in those obliques while we activate them on the opposite side. Inhale it back up nice and tall. Extend your arms. Pull the hands to heart center. Release that right foot from behind the left. Stand tall. Shift your weight to your right foot. Right arm extends up. Left arm out to about a 90-degree bend. Palm is facing up. Breathe. Core is engaged as we lift that left foot up. We reach down with that left hand, taking a hold along the inside or the arch of your foot so your palm is facing open. Again, remember that sensation of that arm floating back. The palm needs to be open for that arm to get that full range of motion. We press that left foot into the hand as the hand guides your foot up. Chest can stay lifted, or you can hinge it forward. Breathe. Solid through that right sole of your foot. Solid and strong through the core. Listening to and honoring your breath. Back off a little bit. Inhale, slowly we rise, drawing those knees back towards one another. And we're going to shift that left hand to the outside of your foot. Circle that right arm around behind, finding that left foot with both hands, drawing your heel in toward your bum. Right to the center of that left glute. We press the front of the pelvis forward as you squeeze your buns, and should feel a really nice stretch down the front of that left leg. Just be nice to your knee. Make sure that that's not compromising or hurting the knee at all. We gently release the foot, crossing that left foot behind the ankle. Reach it up. Center your weight on those feet, even with those ankles crossed. Snug those ankles together. Bend that left elbow. Right hand to the elbow. Gently press. And then a little lean to the right. Breathe. Check in with your breath. Again, a lot of these poses, very, very challenging. Incorporating and asking a lot of different parts of our body. Those core muscles engage the entire time. Inhaling it back up. Release your hands, extend those arms, and gently let them float down by your sides as you shift your weight to your right foot. Left foot steps out from behind the right to mountain. Inhale, reach it high. Exhale, swan dive to forward fold. Inhale up to monkey half lift. Exhale down. Bend those knees as much as you need to get your hands to the mat. We're going to center, actually line up the tops of your fingertips to the tips of your toes and press your palms towards the ground. Relax your head. So if you need to bend your knees to make that happen, that's perfectly fine. We're just working to make a straight line right across from the big toe, across that middle finger, and then extend those legs as much as you can to keep the heels of the hands to the mat. Let your head be heavy. Now, if that can happen easily, if your legs are a little shorter, if you've got greater flexibility, slide those hands back. And as you slide those hands back and tuck your chin towards your chest, you're going to feel this really nice stretch across that upper back. You can take it back as far as you want to, noticing the weight shift. Now you're probably light on your toes. I want you to glue the heels of your hands to the mat and shift some weight forward back into those toes and just feel the intensity of that stretch. A little tuck of your chin. Breathe. If you need to adjust, adjust. Notice if one hand is lifted a little higher, maybe pull them back just a little bit and get that connection of the heel of the hand. Now gently shift your weight forward, release your hands, just let them hang. And slowly bend your knees, shift your weight to your heels. We're going to safely come down onto our bottom and extend those legs out long. Sit up tall, reach it high. Exhale, lengthen, hinge it forward. Release your hands and relax the weight of your head. How you doing? You did great. That was a lot. I hope it was fun. I hope it was challenging. I hope you learned a little bit about yourself. I hope you surprised yourself about all the things that you can do, because it's pretty cool what we ask of our bodies and our minds. More often than not, we can do more than we think. It's kind of cool. Inhale, reach it out. Sit up nice and tall and release your hands down by your sides. Palms are going to press towards the ground. And again, this might determine, so if the torso is longer than your arms and you happen to have blocks, I encourage you to use blocks underneath your hands. If your arms are a little longer than your torso, you're definitely not going to need blocks. We're going to keep those feet flexed. You're going to press into the mat. You're going to lean forward slightly and lift your bum. And gently set it down. And lean forward, lift your bum. So those heels remain down, and gently set your bottom back down. We're going to do that one more time. The other thing you can do is be on fists rather than palms. And we lift. And release. Soften your feet. Reach it high. Lower the arms to shoulder height, and ever so slowly take it back. We roll it down one vertebra at a time. Go as slowly as you can. Breathe. Hands are down by your sides. Draw one knee in towards your chest and then the other. And we're going to pull those knees out and away from us. Knees are about right over those hips. So we create a 90-degree bend as best we can with those knees. We're going to lift the fingertips straight up towards the ceiling. Palms are facing one another. Now we're going to do our very best to alternate sides and not move the opposite side. So we're going to lower the right arm and extend that left leg. But don't move the right leg or the left arm, and bring it back to center. Now left leg and right arm, but don't move the right arm or the left knee, and pull it back in. Dead bug. Extend right arm, left leg. Keep that belly button drawn in and bring it back to center. So this is home. We always want to keep the arm and leg that's not moving at that home base. We always want to keep the small of the back pressing into the mat. You should feel this deep in those core muscles, because we are moving very mindfully, very purposefully. We are aware of where our body is in space. We're going to do one more each side. Should have a little warm fuzziness going on through the belly. Waking up those neural pathways. Now we're going to open those arms out to a nice wide T, and then come right back up to center. Just keep those knees right over the hips and back to center. We open, and we close. Work in the chest. We open, and as we work those arms, maybe we're not focusing so much on those core muscles. Can you feel them? And open last time. Keep those arms open out to a T, and let's take both knees to the right, almost all the way to the ground, and then back through center. Now we focus on those obliques and those transverse. We take it to the left, little rotation, and back to center. We take it to the right. If it's easy for you with those knees bent, you can always extend those legs. As we lengthen our levers, they get heavier, and we recruit more muscles, and they work harder. So it's up to you if you want to extend those legs. Just keep that 90-degree bend, so those legs are going to try and sneak down and away from you. Do your best to keep that 90 degrees. And if you're like, wow, that's more than I bargained for, just bend those knees again. We have one more each side. Decide if you want to have those legs bent or straight. Because we're loading the back as well. So be nice to your back if you're taking special care of the back. There's no gold medals here. We just get the gifts of hard work. Coming back to center. Pull the knees in. Hands to shins, just below your knees. We lift the upper body, still working the core. Draw those knees in. We're going to reach our fingertips down towards our heels. Breathe. We're going to extend the arms and extend the legs to the ceiling and pull it back in. Now, if you need to take care of the neck, you can always support with one hand. Now, this time we're going to open a little bit bigger. If you're like, nope, I'm good, straight to the ceiling, stay with that. Pull it back in. Each time we open, we're going to open a little bit wider. You stop where it's challenging but doable. Otherwise, we open to that full banana and draw it back in. Now we're going to reverse it. So your widest point, go back to that. Pull it back into your tuck. And now we're going to start to make that smaller. So a little bit closer to the sky. Again, we close it just a little bit more. We bring it back in. We close it a little bit more. We draw it back in. We have two more until we're pointing straight up towards the ceiling. So adjust however you like. Draw it back in, this time straight up. And then float it down. All the way open. Letting that upper body come to the mat. Back of the hands to the mat. Heels to the mat. And relax. So that long stretch as you reach overhead. And just breathe. Let's lift that left foot and take it down to the bottom left corner of the mat. Cross your right ankle over the left. We're going to lift the upper body and we're going to shift shoulders and upper body to the upper left corner of your mat. And you're going to stack your right hand on top of the left and just gently hold on. Now you're going to work to open your tummy, your chest, your pelvis to the sky. So we've created this crescent shape and this beautiful stretch down the right side of your body. You can make it as big as you want to. Just be mindful that that right side of your pelvis isn't lifting and you're rolling onto your left. I want you to really feel that openness down the right side. It's a pretty amazing stretch. Close your eyes and breathe. Open those eyes, lift the upper body back through center, and then lift that right leg, cross it down to the bottom right corner of your mat. Lift that left leg, cross it up and over the right ankle, and just really work to keep those feet down to the bottom right corner of your mat. We're going to lift the upper body and we're going to shift it to the top right corner of your mat, and that left back of your hand is resting to the inside of that right palm. And we're going to work to press that left side of the pelvis down. Stretching through the belly, through the ribs, through the waist, all the way down that left side. Close your eyes and breathe. You did amazing today. I hope that was fun. I hope it was different, something just a little different flavor. I hope it was challenging, but not too. Just the right recipe. That's what I'm always going for. Hopefully I hit the mark. Lifting the upper body, bringing it back to center. Lifting that left leg, bring it back to center. And then the right. Pull your right foot in towards your bottom, and then your left. Square the pelvis. Lift those arms straight up towards the ceiling, and then gently let those arms float down by your sides. Let's come into bridge pose, a little pelvic tilt. Press through your heels and lift your hips towards the ceiling, keeping those knees right in line with your hips as you lift. Coming all the way up. Feels good to you, bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers, extend those arms. Maybe roll your shoulders underneath you one at a time. Press those heels into the mat and lift, squeezing those buns. If it feels good to you, lift your heels, come up to the balls of the feet and the toes. Gently release your heels, shift your weight to your heels, lift your feet or your toes, pressing those heels into the mat. Gently place your feet back to the mat, release your hands, unroll one shoulder and then the other, and then ever so slowly bring your back to the mat, one vertebra at a time. We pull that right knee in towards the chest. We extend that left leg out long and just let it relax. Pull that right knee in, point and flex your foot, roll your ankle. Make sure you get both directions, and then extend that right arm out to a T, left hand to the outside of the right knee, and gently pull your leg across. Turn and look out over that right arm. Close your eyes. Just taking a second and recognizing the gift of mobility. All of the things you just did, even if you only did 10%, 10% of what we did, you guys, is incredible. And it's 10% more than you would have done if you weren't here. So thanks for being here. So always be kind to yourself. Show yourself some grace when things just aren't working that day. Laugh about it. Feel free to laugh. But just don't judge and don't criticize. Be kind. Roll it back through center. Extend that right leg high, point your toes, lengthen your leg, little external rotation through that hip. Lengthen your leg and slowly lower it down. Feel that activation of all of those quadricep muscles, all the thigh. Feel that length through the hip as you gently set it down. And pull that left knee in, hands to your shin. Just below your knee, pull it in, feel that length down the front of that right leg, and we point and flex that left foot. Roll in the ankle. Soften your foot. Go ahead and extend that left arm out to a T, right hand to the outside of your left knee, and just gently guide it across. Keeping that left shoulder from lifting as best you can. Turn and look out over that left arm. So I have folks ask every now and again, what's better, to have that range of motion and pull that knee as far across the body as you can and have that opposite shoulder lift or the same shoulder lift? No, keep your shoulders down, keep that chest open, and just pull that knee across to the point where you feel a really nice stretch in your glute and your lower back. So we're working to promote that independent movement of each vertebra and get those twists in the spine without any pain, right? So if we let that spine, that shoulder lift, we're missing the rotation in the spine. So really work to open it up. Again, the key is no pain, no tingling, no numbness. Just oh so good stretch, and roll it back to center. Extend that left leg, point your toes, lengthen your leg, little external rotation through your hip. Reach out through those toes and slowly lower your leg down. And allow it to come to rest. Now we're going to take just a moment and adjust however you need to adjust to grab whatever you might want or need. A blanket, a pillow. Are you on your back because it feels good? Do you feel better on your side or up in a seated position? I encourage you to grab whatever it is you want, whatever it is you need to make yourself as comfortable as you possibly can. As we settle ourselves in to Savasana, an opportunity to truly just be. Now, this is a gift. As much as movement is a gift, an opportunity to be still, to quiet the mind and the body, and to focus on our breath, an incredible gift. Now, if you wish to do so, a hand mudra, we bring the very tip of your index finger and the very tip of your thumb together to create an O, just a circle. Our middle finger, ring finger, and pinky are extended and gently touching. We breathe in, we breathe out. Helping to quiet the mind of any worry, anxiety, depression. Just that gentle connection of the index finger and thumb. Promoting energy flow to help soothe and to calm. You absolutely do not have to do that. You can just relax your hands. This is about just taking time for you to be still, to be calm, and to focus on your breath. There is amazing power within our breath, helping to heal, to mend, to calm, to quiet, to energize and ignite. Right now, we focus on that calming breath, slow and steady in and out through the nose, promoting that sense of focus and foundation. We are balanced mentally, emotionally, physically. As we have spent good quality time on our mat to promote balance and remove imbalances in energy flows, in mechanics, in strength and awareness. Finding that balance within ourselves, another gift. As you're ready, gently begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, opening and closing your hands, moving the ankles, stretching your limbs. Take the time you need, however you wish, whenever you're ready. We come up to a seated position that feels good to you. We pull our hands to heart center, a gentle tuck of our chin towards our chest. Hopefully just a little reminder of our mindset for the day. Look inward. Let it all flow. Find the good. Reflect and accept. Embrace what is. Love yourself a little more. Get comfortable with stillness. Focus on what's in your control. Be gentle as you figure out what's next. Gently lift your face, open your eyes. You guys, thank you for being here. Take care of yourself. Be well. As always, it's an honor and a privilege. I hope this was fun and I hope you feel fantastic. Until the next time, my friend, light, love, and namaste.